What's up, guys? Welcome back. It has been a minute. I basically just felt like sitting down and filming a really dramatic look today. I came across this. I'm crooked. Okay, sorry. I had come across this look actually earlier today or last night, and immediately this lid color, it just was captivating. It immediately inspired me. I was like, you know what? I feel like recreating that. I recreated another one of these similar looks like a few videos back, and I was like, you know what? I haven't filmed in a minute. Let's do it. So it was another Jaclyn Hill inspired dramatic makeup tutorial. I've been following her forever. Y'all already know. This, it's funny because this particular shade color isn't even available anymore because I'm pretty sure it was Makeup Geek, which is what she was using. But a lot of things I kind of like had dupes for, or not exactly dupes, but like similar shades or similar vibes going on. So I was like, I'm just gonna use what I got, recreate it that way. So that's exactly what I did, and this is the look I came up with. Eventually I am going to get into some more holiday looks, you know, like dramatic Christmas makeup and like glam, like the full beat, all the things. But I was like, you know, I'm gonna start off strong and do a banging smoky eye, and not exactly a bold lip, but not a nude. It's kind of like a right in between kind of. So it's like a mauve, not purple, but like a corally brown, pinky type of moment, if you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, that was basically what happened. I watched a video, got inspired, and decided to recreate it. So if you guys like this look, if you guys want to see how I achieved this look and potentially want to achieve it for yourself, then hit that like button and hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell so you get notified when I upload a new video, because I will be finally uploading more. Sorry, it's been a minute. But yeah, that's it. I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye. What is up, you guys? Today I'm going to be starting with my eyes. I'm using the Plouise makeup base as always. Now, I always use my finger to blend this out because I just feel like it gives better payoff versus blending out the sponge. I don't know. It might just be me. I don't know. I'm going in with the Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette. I'm using these top two shades you see here, and I'm mixing those together for my transition area. Now, I don't know the names of these shades because they're not on the palette. They were in the package that I received them in years ago. It was on a little pamphlet thing, and the shade with the name was on that pamphlet. I don't have that anymore, so I don't know what shade names these are. I just know these are the two I'm using, and it's what's in my transition area. And I'm just blending and buffing. I'm going in windshield wiper and circular motions, as you see. I do use a pretty fluffy brush to do this particular motion with. And then once I have, I'm going in next with this like chocolatey cherry kind of vibe. It's got just enough of a little purplish red in there, and basically what I'm going to do is make a halo effect with this. So I'm going to be strictly putting this on the outer corner and on the inner corner, and then once I have the desired pigment and payoff that I want on my lids, or on my inner corner and my outer corner, I will then kind of like meet them in the middle with the windshield wiper motions. But I am going to strictly keep this below the crease because I don't want it to go too high, because once we take any clean brush and go back and blend our edges, it will then transition just a little bit above the crease, which is totally okay. And again, stamping on the inner corner and the outer corner just for our desired payoff. And then I will go back and windshield wiper motions and meet those two in the middle again. Excuse me. Sorry if my voice sounds a little raspy today. Wasn't expecting that. And as you see me here, I have just any clean fluffy brush. I don't know what brush I'm using. I just know it's a clean fluffy brush. And just going over the edges so we have no harsh lines. And then I'm going to go in with a darker shade, and I'm going to basically do the exact same thing I just did. Now, all this does is add dimension to the eyes. We're not exactly making things darker, so to speak. It just gives us more dimension, so we have more to work with, if that makes sense. And I am doing the exact same thing I just did with that chocolate, like chocolate cherry shade. I'm going to be putting it on the outer corner and the inner corner. Now I do use a smaller, flatter packing brush or a flat shader brush to do this. And as you see, I did connect those two with windshield wiper motions like I did that chocolate cherry shade. Now what I do initially is I do dip my brush into the shade pretty generously, but I do tap off a lot of the excess. Whether it's got a bunch of fallout or not is a whole different story. It doesn't matter how much fallout you have. What matters is the payoff. So you could have a lot of fallout in one shadow and then not have fallout in another shadow, but the color payoff is what you look for, not how much you're digging out of the pan. Even though that can say a lot too, but you really want a good shadow payoff. Now you do see me sort of making a more like cat eye shape, but I'm not exactly going up with it. I'm kind of going more out with it. Now we're going in with Houdini. This is an OG Makeup Geek shadow. I know they're no longer around. I'm not even sure if you can get these anymore, but I've had these shades for a long time. And I was digging through my eyeshadows and came across this shade, and I was like, you know, this needs to be used. It's like the perfect time, honestly, perfect time all year round for me, but let's be real. But during the winter time and the fall time is really when this color is just, it's just that girl. Now I am taking a MAC 242 brush because this brush is specifically meant for like pressed pigments and glitters and shimmers and all the things of this nature. Now I started to wet my brush one time and then I never went back and sprayed my brush again. So it was just kind of the after effect of my brush being wet, which I didn't really mind because I didn't spray it again. Now I am really carving this into the crease, and I do cover up that dark brown that we did put on the outer and inner corner. I will be going back in and retouching that because I do want kind of like the chocolate with the blue, like the navy blue that we have on the eyes, and just kind of overall, I mean, we're making a halo eye, more or less. We're making a halo eye, and I don't want to cover all that up, which is why you see me go back in and retouch up my inner and my outer corners. But we obviously do want that pop of Houdini in there. then just for funsies, I decided to add a little bit of Pegasus, also by Makeup Geek. This blue is so freaking pretty, I can't stand it. I just like tapped a little bit on the center of my lid and I just immediately fell in love with this. I am tight lining with just any black eyeliner. I've had this eyeliner forever. Y'all already know. I don't know the name of it or whatever. I just know it's a black eyeliner and it works and it's super creamy and it's just a good liner. I'm going to be really sad when I use it all because I'll have to figure out how to get a hold of it again. Going to be using the Maybelline Studio Gel Liner in Blackest Black, and we are making a wing with that. I know you probably can't tell, but I'm having such difficult time with my wing liner because the sun was trying to pop through in certain angles and it was making it super, super difficult for me to see what I was doing. Like, on top of that, I already have stigmatism in my eyes, so I have to have special contacts, and every once in a while, they will, like, rotate in my eyes. If you have stigmatism, you just know. But on top of that, the sun playing me so freaking hard while I was doing my wing was just so irritating. But we got there. And I am taking a tiny little brush. I do not know where I got this brush. I just know I've had it forever. And I'm taking any makeup remover. I think this was actually a MAC sample that I found in my collection. And I'm just cleaning that up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes here. I always curl my lashes before I apply falsies. It doesn't matter what kind of falsie it is. I feel like I have to do this. And I'm using the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. This is such a tried and true mascara for me. I've used this forever. I'm going to use the Ardell Demi Whispies. I feel like I've always just called them Whispies, and I realized that they're called Demi Whispies, which these honestly are perfect for any bridal glam. Now I'm using the Fenty Hydrating Primer. I think that's what this is called, just the hydrating primer. Look, Fenty has some of the best freaking products I've ever tried in my life. And it's one of those products where you go to use it and you smell it and it just smells like Fenty. I don't know if that's just me, but I was like, when I applied this and I smelled it, I was like, Fenty. And I know I don't show this, but I am using the KAB face mist, as similar to the MAC Fix Plus as I have mentioned before. Now I'm using an OG foundation. This is the original True Match. And I believe this is the lightest shade, if not the next lightest shade. And this was actually the first foundation I ever used. Ever. Before I discovered the True Match Lumi. And I'm just using any foundation brush. I think this is the Morphe M439. I could be so wrong about that number, but I think it's that. And I've been going back to using a brush to buff out my foundation lately. Just something about it. I don't know. I just feel like it, I don't know, I feel like it makes my foundation look better as opposed to using a beauty sponge. I know using a damp beauty sponge to blend out anything will take away a lot of product, but I don't know, I've just been going back to the brush lately, guys. Just don't come at me for it. Now we're going to be concealing these designer bags with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I love this concealer. I truly do. I've used the Loreal one, I've used Maybelline, and I think I've used another drugstore something. But this e.l.f. concealer is in my top favorite. It might be my actual favorite. No, I take that back. Between e.l.f. and the MAC Pro Longwear, like, those are top two. I know two different ends of the pricing spectrum, but they're both good and they're both my favorite. Now, I do use a beauty sponge to blend out my concealer because I just haven't found a concealer brush to use yet, and I'm getting there, but I don't know, something about it, it's weird to me, but I'm getting there. And I'm using the Wet n Wild pressed powder, and I don't know if you could tell by the imprint of the powder. Yes, it is Jack Skellington, and yes, that's the only reason that I got it. But then after I used it, I realized that this pressed powder is actually really freaking good. Now I'm using the dark brown that we used, the very last shade that we actually used on our inner and outer corners. I'm taking a flat definer brush and I'm very tightly on my lower lash line applying that. Don't know what I was trying to say. And then I'm just going to take the two shades we use in our transition, those two lighter shades, and I'm going to just buff that out. Now, I do strictly keep this on the outer corner. I don't bring it all the way into the inner corner because yes, it is a smoky eye, but I don't want to, like, we're not attempting to look like Uncle Fester. We're just keeping it strictly on the outer corner. Because the lid, in all honesty, is the star of the show. And then I'm just gonna line my lower lash line with some black liner. Honestly, the same black liner, because this eyeliner, it's so good. I've never used a pencil liner that I like more than this one. Now we're just gonna quickly coat our lower lashes using the same Tarte mascara that we used. I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows. I'm using the Benefit Brow Definer. Now I'm going to quickly kind of skim through this because doing my brows personally as a ginger, it takes a minute. I know it's a brow definer, but it still takes me a good minute to get them perfect or the way that I want them looking. Because we want them to look semi-related. They might not be twins, but we're attempting sisters. And my eyebrows are a little on the bushy side right now, and they need help. Because for some reason, one eyebrow I feel like arches more than the other one, and I don't know if that's the way that I fill them in or just looking at it. I don't know. I'm taking MAC Nylon and using that as my brow bone highlight. Now, this little brush that I'm using right here is meant to use as a brow bone highlighting brush, and it's incredible. Like, all these years, and yeah, I have no words. I'm using the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Bronzer to bronze this bad boy down. Listen, I said it once, I'll say it again. This is the best bronzer for us fair girlies. It's not too red, too orange, too gray, too muddy, too to anything, really. It's literally, if anything, it's too perfect. And I believe the brush that I actually use to bronze is meant more for contouring, but I basically use this as a bronzer brush. I'm gonna do a little warmth to the center of my face here, so I'm not looking like the fish from Shark Tale. If you know, you know. I don't really contour my nose, but I do kind of a bronzer moment, just giving more warmth to the face than making it structured. Now I'm using a Milani blush. This is in the shade Tea Rose. It's like neutral leaning cool, so it's like it's a perfect bridal blush is what this is, in my opinion. And I believe I'm using an Alamar Cosmetics angled brush to blend that out. I'm going to highlight my brow bone with the MAC Whisper of Guilt. This highlight is everything and then some. It's stupid how beautiful this highlight is. Now, I always have to highlight my Cupid's bow just because I have a defined Cupid's bow, and I just feel like highlighting it really just makes it stand out even more. Now, I, for some reason, did not show this on camera. I do not know why. I guess I somehow edited this part out. But I'm using the Colourpop. I believe this is a satin, an ultra satin. Either one of the two. It's a satin lip. And it was a Kathleen Lights Colourpop collab from God knows how many years ago in the shade Dreamy. And I'm almost positive you cannot get this anymore. I've just had it forever, and I felt like this went perfect with the whole look. Now we're finishing off setting everything down with the Morphe setting mist. And that completes this look, you guys. Thank you so much for just hanging out and doing your makeup with me, and hope you guys enjoyed and liked this look. Again, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.